Okay, so one of the main things you can do is create menus and custom board ideas. So I did when, early on when I started, when we started the business, I started like, okay, how can we make this work so that we can help our people? So I did create a custom prompt. And again, I'll talk to you about these if you're interested in them. But that actually, you go in and you say, I'm going to have a wedding, and the wedding is going to be 100 people, and the theme is Western, and I need some ideas, and or you can do something. It's going to be the fall harvest, or it's the football game, or it's for vegans, it's for corporate event, it's for real estate agents. Anyway, you go in and you can just say, I'm going to have 100 people in there. I need some ideas. I need some pricing. I need some, a menu. You can tell it anything you want, right? And this is what I want you to give out to me, and then it'll take literally within seconds, it'll start giving you information. Welcome to the Charcuterie Launch Lab podcast, where passion meets profit. If you've ever dreamed of turning your love for charcuterie, or food of any kind, into a thriving online business, well then you're in the right place. We're Andrea and Patty, the Grazing Biz Sisters. With over 60 years combined experience as a chef and digital marketer, we have walked in your shoes starting our own online businesses. We'll share all of our tips, advice, struggles, and best strategies to help you launch and grow your own online foodie business with ease. The Charcuterie Launch Lab is a space for all food creators and entrepreneurs just like you. Let's dive in and get your yummy business launched online, one board at a time. Hey, 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 here we are again. It's Andrea and Patty, Chef Andrea and just Patty.
Yeah.
Here.
Marketer Patty, I guess.
It's Marketer Patty. Well, I could go by a lot of different things. I was thinking this week, I was talking to somebody yesterday. Anyway, but wait, before I start talking, thank you and welcome to the Charcuterie Launch Lab podcast, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
Before we
I was
start
just
talking about ourselves.
I know we have to, kind of explain where our life has been every week when we do this. But so yesterday this morning I was on a call with some guy, and he was just like, I can't believe it. I've been stalking you forever on YouTube, and this is my other business, for my coaching business for real estate. And he finally broke down and scheduled a call with me. And then he said, yeah, I'm going to buy your book. And why? Because you have so many 5-star reviews. And I noticed yesterday that some idiot went on to Amazon and gave me a 1-star review. And I was like, oh, he's just jealous. I don't know who it was. It was the only one I've had.
Was it anonymous or?
Yeah, it was anonymous. They
Oh.
never posted anything, but it was probably just some idiot just being a jerk is all I
Well,
can
it could
think.
just be somebody who also wrote a book and was like, I don't, I'm going to give
Yeah.
her bad reviews so people go and buy
And he
my book.
probably
It could be anybody.
it could have been anybody, but that's our life. And when you get online, that kind of stuff happens. But
Yeah.
anyway, the guy
Yeah.
was like, he goes, there's only 2 people out here that I want to talk to anymore, and that's you and some other real estate coach. I go, well, that's good because
Yeah, that's like me, I posted, I told you about that. I don't know if I talked about it, but on this thing, but I posted something on promoting different things that I sell and on a local group here in Northern Arizona. And this lady, so we're going to talk about this today. I did use AI photos because I didn't want, the great thing about AI is you don't have to, I didn't want to have to go out and buy all the food, produce all the things until I was ready to actually make them. By the time I get orders, I will start taking professional photos of them.
yeah.
So in the meantime, I went to AI, taught myself how to do the right prompts to make these photos. And this girl, so I had them on several different things, and she proceeded to like go to every single local group that I posted in and said, is she real? Because her photos aren't. She copied and pasted that exact same phrase and put it on every single post that I had. So I answered her back and I go, so I couldn't be more real if I tried. And, why are you trolling me? Why do you care?
Yeah.
And,
And
I am the
you
greatest.
also said that you were starting the
I
business. So
did. And I
yeah.
said on the post that these photos are AI generated, but they are very good examples of what your food will look like, and they will look better than this, in fact.
Yeah.
But, because I'm starting this new part of my business, these are what the photos are. Oh my God, this girl, and she just got so horribly nasty about it. And it's like, I wish
That
I had time in my life for this. I
exactly.
really do. Good for you that
Get
you've
a
got time
life.
for that, because I certainly don't.
Oh
And
my gosh. In the
it's
meantime,
amazing.
tell everybody though that you got so many comments of people wanting what you were offering
There
based
were a
on
lot of
those
people
pictures.
that, there was actually a couple of people were actually photographers who offered up their services because they want to get their name out there.
Good idea.
So food styling people. And then on top of that, other people just didn't care because they were like, the food looks so fabulous and I want to order. And I'm still in the process of making this portion of my website work. But I had over 100 responses of
Yeah.
people who wanted to buy this products. And yeah, I think, and this is going to roll with our cottage industry, which we're going to do at some point. But it was crazy. I really didn't expect it to go as well as it did. So I've been kind of scrambling to get this website right. But anyway, that's my AI story of the week. We are going to talk about that today, but
Yeah.
people are nuts. Like, what the
Everybody
hell?
had a
I
better
just
idea. Yeah, I
like
know.
it was weird. And there was another girl on there who said the same thing, and she was chastising me for using AI. You'll get a lot better responses if you use the real pictures of the real food. Lo and behold, girlfriend, I had hundreds of people interested in my business, so I am not worried about that.
Right, right.
And I obviously, I can back it up, but I
Yeah.
don't know where people get off. Like, what?
Well,
Get a life.
they're just sitting on the toilet scrolling, going,
I know.
going, it's like, what? I'm bored. I'm gonna be here a while. I might as well
I'm just
just
gonna
troll this
shit
girl.
all over this person. Like, I don't get it. But anyway, I'm glad we're on YouTube and other places where I
I
could swear, because
know. Oh
I've
my
told
God.
people in the past, I've worked in a kitchen for 27 years, so
Yeah,
I
you've
can't
seen
help
it
it.
all. You've seen it
I
all.
swear, it
I
is what
know.
it is. But anyways, if I'm
Oh.
offending people, I'm sorry, but
No, but at least I was talking to my son. He's right now. Derek. He's up in the
oh
forest
yeah.
cooking at. My son's a chef, for those of you who don't know, and he got a job over the summer up in northern Arizona on the other side of the state from where Andrew's at, and he's been cooking at a camp for disabled children and adults. Actually, it's been he's really loving it,
Oh good.
but he sends me he happened to be down here this week, and he comes over and he goes, so this is what I've been dealing with. You think you've had it bad? He's got bears that are just like right outside his door, and
Hmm.
they're just getting into everything out there. I said that's
Yeah.
kind of scary, and they got these little dogs like this, right? So and you could just see the bears opening up the garbage cans. I go, well,
Yeah.
these things should be locked down with bear-proof lock things.
Right, right.
He's got videos of them just digging around in the garbage can right outside of his cabin door, because they gave him a cabin, and the cabin's only feet away from the
That's
kitchen.
frightening.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll throw in my bear story. I worked in Alaska for one summer, and I they kept their kitchen, like the storage stuff of the food, like in a totally different building. I was in Glacier Bay,
Yeah.
and they had to, because if so one time I had to go out and put some food away, and I hear all this grumbling and moving. It was like something out of a dinosaur movie, Jurassic Park. So like everything's moving, all these trees are moving. When I came out of
Oh
this
my
building, it was
God.
dark outside, and I like hauled ass, came
Oh
in the
my
door, and I'm like,
God.
there's something out there. So,
Not good.
but you could hear them, and they have, they attacked the chickens that we were getting our eggs from. It was crazy. So
Yeah.
yeah, the bears are bears, and they're
I
in their territory.
you want, when you're out there, you're kind of like, oh, I'd love to see one, and then you see them and you
Right.
go, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, never mind.
Never mind. Well, we kind of already
Anyway,
started talking about it, which I didn't realize that segue was going to work so well, but it actually does, because Andrea's story about how to use AI is what we're going to
yeah,
talk about today.
yeah.
Is how can you use AI in your charcuterie business? So I've got 10 ways you can use AI in your business, and I have used, I think, all of them in ours as we've started to get this business going to help other people, but also to build our charcuterie business, cart business, and Andrea's menus and things that she's using for her website. So we're
Mhm.
going to go through 10 ways to use AI. So I guess the first thing I want to clarify is that when I say the word prompt, if you've never used AI before, the word AI prompt may be somewhat foreign to you. So I'm just going to read off what I have on my training on how to use AI. I'm just going to read it, so it's going to help me just so I don't mess up. But so when you create a prompt, you're basically going into like ChatGPT, which is a free version. One of the reasons I wanted to talk about this too is because yesterday ChatGPT rolled out ChatGPT 5. Now, if you're watching this 3 years from now, we are in August 8th of 2025. And so
Hopefully we're still doing it 3 years
yeah,
from
no,
now.
in 3 months they'll have version 15.
Right,
So
right,
I don't know where
right.
we're going to be, but
I didn't
we're
even know they were at version 5. I'm just rolling away with ChatGPT and not even looking to see what version I'm on. I was like, whatever.
I know. Well, because you're not like me and wake up in the middle of the night listening to podcasts and
No,
watching
I
videos.
don't.
That's
I
that's what
listen
I
to
do.
other I listen to other
Yeah,
things.
it's no wonder. It's no
Sleep
wonder I'm
programs
so
is what
high
I do.
strung. I know. So anyway, they did roll out ChatGPT 5, and so I was like, oh well, I need to just talk about it because we've been using it so much, and it
Mhm.
doesn't. Maybe none of you have used it. Maybe some of you have. If you haven't, it's not going away.
Good.
So when you go to you can create a free account at ChatGPT, which is where I would always tell everyone just to start. There's all different versions out there now. There's Perplexity,
Mhm.
Gemini, and we'll talk about Gemini here in a little bit when we talk about video and stuff. But there's all these different platforms and apps that you can go to. But ChatGPT was kind of the first one. It is provided by OpenAI, and you can go and set up an account for free at chatgpt.com. And what's cool about it is that even this new version, it used to be you'd have to pay, to have a paid version of it to get all the new rollouts. Well, this this version is going to be available even to the people that have a free version of ChatGPT. And really, most of you will only need the free version unless you're
Mhm.
doing a lot of marketing or things that you want to do coding and whatever, which I'm going to guess most of you aren't going to do, then you really only need a free version of ChatGPT. Well, what happens when you go there, if you've never used it, is you go in and you just start talking to it. So
Mhm.
you talk to it, and this is what I was told from day one, is you talk to it like it's your assistant. Are you tired of guessing what to charge for your boards? Are you spending hours shopping and prepping only to wonder, did I even make money on this order? Hey, it's Grazing Biz Sister Patty here, and I get it. Pricing your charcuterie boards, tables, cups, and carts shouldn't feel like throwing spaghetti against the wall. That's why Sister Chef Andrea and I wrote Charcuterie Profit Secrets, the book that shows you exactly what to charge, what to buy, and how to finally run a profitable charcuterie business without burning out. No matter how long you've been in business, you'll learn our pricing secrets on how to buy smart, price confidently, and reduce waste while making real profits in your charcuterie business. Grab your copy at grazingbiz.com/profit secrets and turn your passion into a real paycheck.
Right.
And you it just like it and you can actually put it on your phone on an app, and and I can't wait to hear this, but they've just updated the voice on here, and this thing talks to you like I'm talking to you, like I'm
I've
talking to
never
Andrea.
done that. I've never done that. I
Yeah,
do have the apps, and I'll tell everybody that my sister pays for her version because she uses it in so many different ways that I would never do that.
yeah,
I use Microsoft, so I have Copilot.
yeah,
So Copilot is how I'm producing images. But anyways, I did
yeah.
not know you could talk to
You
it.
can.
I have the apps everywhere, and I have the free version, and you can use the apps with the free version too.
Yeah, and then I'm just telling you, you should know
That's
that
cool.
that happens
I
because
didn't even
apparently people are getting married to ChatGPT, but we're not going to get into that deep. That's just that sad, sad
That's
part of
right
this.
up there with that trolling girl and the thing. Get a life.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
there's some lot of weirdos out there, but let's use it in a positive way that will work
Right,
for us,
right.
right? So, what you do is you go in and you can talk to it now, and you can just type in and you just talk to it like you're giving your assistant or somebody who could just give you some help. You just type in what you want. So let me read what an AI prompt is. An AI custom prompt. Let me talk about that. An AI custom prompt is one that's you could get that you go in and actually create your own prompts that you use over and over again. And I've created a bunch of custom prompts that I actually am providing all of you, and we'll talk about that here in a minute to help you with your business. But you can go and create your own custom prompts or any kind of prompt. So a custom prompt one is basically a carefully written instruction in the form of a link that will be created, and then you can just click on this link and it will automatically do what you want it to do because it's already been basically given instructions on how to give you what you're asking. So you're not having to go in and start from scratch every time, right? So what happens is you click on this link and you'll be taken into ChatGPT, whatever kind of account you have. Now, what's the difference between a paid and a free version? You're going to be limited on how much you can get with the free version. So you'll be able to go in and do a certain number of prompt requests or requests basically on a free account, and then you'll kind of get shut down for the day. So, but then you can come back tomorrow and do some more. If you have a paid
Yeah,
account,
that's what mine does. And I
yeah,
hit that. I was using it for something this morning and
yeah,
I
and then
hit
you,
it pretty quickly.
yeah, and that's
But
the
if you're
thing.
just doing basic stuff, I usually don't, but
Yeah. Well, what happens is you go in and if you don't get exactly what you're asking it to do, then you kind of say, "Oh, wait, no, I want this more. I'm sorry, I forgot." I
right.
usually and honestly, if you say I'm sorry or thank you and please, believe it or not, I've been told that that's actually a good thing. So you can just treat it like it's your assistant, like it's a human in that regard because and then you can train your account. There's settings in your account that actually can understand the way you like to talk. So if you want it to
Mhm.
write up content for you, if you want it to write an email, or I mean, there's so much it could do. It can do
It's
anything.
crazy. It's
Oh
crazy.
my goodness. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about the things it can do. But anyway, so a prompt basically is what you're going in, and whether it's custom or you just start from scratch, you go in and just tell it what to do, and it'll spit out what you want. So let's talk about some of the stuff that you can tell it to do, right? The first thing, let's see if we can keep track. Number one, I know it's really hilarious. Before we got on here, I got cheese. I got my own little paper plate charcuterie board on here. I got cheese and salami. Just
Yeah, but
I
that
just
doesn't
happen to
look
look
good.
at it. It doesn't look good. It looks
Doesn't look, it looks a little dry.
your AI looked better than this.
No, let me do it. Let me do a prompt for
Yikes.
you.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the main things you can do is create menus and custom board ideas. So I did when early on when I started when we started the business, I started like, okay, how can we make this work so that we can help our people? So I did create a custom prompt, and again, I'll talk to you about these if you're interested in them. But that actually, you go in and you say, I'm going to have a wedding, and the wedding is going to be 100 people, and the theme is Western and I need some ideas or you can do something. It's going to be the fall harvest, or it's the football
Yeah,
game, or it's for vegans, it's for corporate event, it's for real estate agents. Anyway, you go in and you can just say, I'm going to have 100 people in there. I need some ideas. I need some pricing. I need some, a menu. You can tell it anything you want, right? And this is what I want you to give out to me, and then it'll take literally within seconds, it'll start giving you information.
it's crazy. And
Yeah,
like if you guys are hung up, obviously everybody should be hung up on their costs and stuff. You can also ask it, can you give me a cost and a retail
right.
price and blah, blah, blah. And based on local grocery stores, what is it going to, what's it going to take for me to do this? It's crazy. It will do it all.
And the
So,
reality is, and I haven't tried that yet, but I haven't tried that. But if I went in and said, I'm shopping at Aldi today in
right.
Phoenix, I'm serious. I'm
Yeah, it'll
shopping at
probably do
Aldi
it.
today in Phoenix. Can you, and I'm not sure it's going to work, but you're still going to want to check everything, which is just a
Yeah,
preface
yeah,
to
yeah.
all of this. Always make sure that you're checking to make sure, because it's not always right. But anyway, you say, I'm shopping at Aldi or I'm shopping at Costco. I know when we were working on our cart a month or so ago, I was in there trying to figure out exactly how many blocks of cheese. This is what I said. I said, I've got a Costco block of cheese, the cheddar cheese brick, whatever size it was, 2 pounds, I
Two
think. Is it two
pounds.
pounds?
Hmm.
And how many 1 by 1 inch squares can I get out of it or whatever? I think I did that. And it actually was able to tell me.
Yeah.
So, and another thing that you can do is actually put a URL in there, and it'll scrape, it'll go digging through that URL. You can upload images. So if you've got an image of an idea of a board that maybe you picked up from Pinterest and you want to put it in there, and again, I haven't done this, but I know this is probably easy to do. So you just upload the image in there and say, yeah, can you give me an idea of how much this board or what's on this board and how much it would cost? So that's number two is your pricing calculator assistant, which all of you, most of you should know that we already have this. It's not AI. It was created by our very smart brother, and you can put in all kinds of stuff that's going to help you for charcuterie boards and tables. And you can get that at grazingbiz.com/earn with cheese. And you can get our free charcuterie calculator, but you can go in there and ask it and suggest formulas and pricing suggestions on profits, cost margins, board sizes. You could say, how big of a board do I need for 10 people, and how much do you think it would cost me if I put these ingredients on it? So
You know,
you
and
can do
everybody
that.
needs to remember, just like you just said, I have found it make mistakes, so
Yeah.
you want to definitely be, don't just assume that everything it's saying is right. So read through it carefully.
Sure, but here's the
It
thing. If
misses
you
things, but it does most of the time, it's 99% right.
You can
It's
correct
crazy.
it. That's the
Yeah,
thing,
you can.
because you can get it and then it may not be exactly what you're asking. Or if you say, you know what, I changed my mind. I want to do, 70% of cost or
Right,
whatever.
right.
You can change it.
Yeah.
So don't just take whatever it says and go do it, because if you're not happy with it, then change it up, right? So just talk to it like you normally would. And I always, how I always look at it is, because I have a VA, and VA is virtual assistant, and he's in the Philippines. And I love him dearly, but sometimes I'll give him some instructions and I have to like really spell it out, because the more thorough you can be, the better your response will be. So that's why having the custom GPTs, that you can actually go in and type them up and save the custom ones. And for those of you who don't know where to do that, if you get in there, you can just go over to I'm actually on here right now. If you go over to the right side of your screen, I think you can create the custom ones. But I'll have to, you know what I'll do? I'm going to do a YouTube video on it, because I need to get in and do more actual how do you do things videos on our YouTube channel. But anyway, so that is a way to easily calculate and create boards, right? Number three, social media. You can create all your social media templates for days on end. You could tell it, I want an entire month of content for my social media. And these days, you can actually have it make your social media image and images if you wanted to. And I just realized recently that you can integrate with Canva, and you tell Canva when you get it integrated. Again, another thing, if you're interested and want me to do this, comment in wherever you're listening to this. Say, yeah, Patty, I'd love to see a video of that, and show you how you can integrate your content that you ask it to create for you with your Canva account. And it will open up Canva and have the social media images and things that, that are already
Yeah.
done based on,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I love this. So you go in there and you can just say, I need social media, I need a post or whatever. You're going to run an ad, or I just like, I've got a new board that I want to offer up that's for a wedding coming up, or my cups or my cart or whatever. I will say that the cart is new. So what I've realized is it's really struggling with the charcuterie cart thing. If you go in and say, I have a
Yeah, it
charcuterie
doesn't
cart.
always catch. Yeah, it's super confused by the charcuterie cart.
Yeah.
I
because
noticed that too.
what it's doing is pulling from the internet, and so if it's kind of, scanning the internet to figure out what's out there that it can actually create stuff for you based on what history is. And there's not a lot of history out there on this yet, and which is
Right.
good for any of you who are, wanting to start in the charcuterie cart business. But so yeah, you're going to have to work with it a few times. So on that note, I was able to make a video, and I went in, and I was in another tool called Gemini, which is by Google. And everybody can go set up their account, just go, set it up, and you can use, there's it's called VEO 3, I think it is. Anyway, so
Something
you
like
can go,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So you can go in there and you tell it what you want. You got to be really specific. But what I did actually a week or so ago is, I have these new shirts that we've had made that says, the charcuterie. What does it say? What are the? Just give me one that I
Oh,
have
you
made.
got little sayings on there,
Little sayings on
like
the t-shirts, right?
cheese the day and
Cheese the
things
day
like
and
that. Yeah.
other stuff, which by the way, we're selling the shirts, but I haven't got them on the site yet. But so one of them was salami dealer, licensed salami dealer. But I had to
Oh
laugh
yeah.
about that
People were
because
cracking up over that one.
they were. But when I tried to put the image of the licensed salami dealer into Gemini, it actually told me it couldn't do it because I think it thought I was pushing drugs.
Doing something
Yeah,
nasty. Yeah.
so nasty. Okay, mom.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nasty.
Pimping out the salami or something.
It got it, yeah, and
Probably
so
did.
I will say, depending on what you put in there, you got to be careful because it is going to be really
Gonna judge
careful.
you.
It's going to it's going to judge you. So I had to rename, I had to reword it. But anyway, you could upload an image and it will add it to a video or another image. So if you've got, say, a logo, if you have your own cart, if you have a table that you've created and you want to put that in this image or in a video, you would be surprised how well it's working. And so Gemini actually, right now, as of this date, again, it's going to be laughable in about 3 months because I'm sure everything's going to change. But today, we get like 8 seconds that it will create the coolest friggin' video you're ever going to see. And
Hmm.
so I had it actually create a charcuterie cart with two, what do they say, middle-aged women
Right. She was trying
behind.
to imitate us or something like that.
Yeah, well, it was not close. But anyway, it
Yeah,
was,
but they were
and
middle-aged women and they weren't, like super skinny models or anything. And they were
no,
just, the first time I think you sent me one, so this is the one of the things you gotta look for it. Like, I don't know, they were picking up weird things. So it's like, what the hell is that?
all of a
So
sudden
you
it
have
was
to go
there.
back. Yeah. Like you have to go back and tell it, like, get rid of that and
Yeah.
add this and it will do it. If it recognizes what you're saying,
You know what I'm going to do is that
it's that
just
was
the other
funny though. I
day
remember
I
that.
took images of you and me at our gig when we were at the event a couple weeks back, and you and I had staged these images because we needed them for our website. So I had Andrea standing back there behind, and we had cleaned everything up behind us, so it was all cleaned up. And then I put the image of both of us in there, and Andrea came out. I said, make people walk by her and look and point and like they're going to pay for one of the products. So people are milling around. I mean, you wouldn't know, but unless you look really close at Andrea, and then so the people are milling around in front of Andrea. As Andrea's standing back there, looks 95% like her. The other 5%, she's got a ponytail, and for some reason, buck teeth. I
Which
have no idea where that came from, but and the people are milling around, and then all of a sudden they walk by and they turn around and they've got this big old platter, and there was no sign of Andrea giving it to him. of
like it just mysteriously appeared. I'm
so
sure people have seen AI like on Facebook and different reels and things, and all of a sudden something will like just appear out of nowhere, and that's when you know like right away that that's AI because
yes, oh yeah, you can
yeah, when
tell if the
weird things
lips
happen.
aren't
But there's a lot of
matching.
people out there like mom, she believes everything she sees. So it's like, love
Yeah,
my mom to death, but she was
yeah.
believing something. I don't remember what it was. She sends it to me. I go, so that wasn't real.
Yeah, so we're not here to, yeah, and that's the thing is what really we're just, for me, I'm looking at it like, how can we use it
Yeah.
for marketing?
Yeah, yeah.
If you go to our website and look, you can see that video that we created of the charcuterie cart. If you look really close, there's like, I told it only 12 little bins and there's like 40 of them, on there. But if you got, but is anyone gonna,
The
is
bigger
anyone?
thing, it's funny because I was actually looking at that today on some other thing that you did, and I'm
Yeah.
like, did I know that there was like there's like 30 of them on there, like way many that we would ever have. You could never keep those cold.
But I liked
So,
everything else about it because
but
I didn't
everything
even,
else looked great.
I
Yeah.
know, I didn't
So we
even
just
tell
loved
it.
it.
I didn't even tell it to put these people in front of a vineyard, and they did, and I loved it. So I was like, all right, that's
Yeah,
fine.
it was a good one.
Nobody's gonna
We
look
didn't
that
want
close.
to mess with it because the more you mess with it, peeps,
Yeah.
it gets all screwed
You
up and
might have to
it's
start
totally
over.
confused.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll start getting confused. Well, the good thing is that if you use ChatGPT, I'm not recognizing this with Gemini right now, but ChatGPT will keep track of the stuff that you've been asking it, and it will start getting
Yeah,
trained. So it will
it does.
understand
Yeah.
everything about you. So all of you, you've got the ability to go in there and add in your branding stuff and all of that. And boy, I don't even
Hmm.
want to get into agent. They have AI agent in here, which can now start helping you do stuff on your computer, but that's a whole different, I'm not even going there today with it. But right now, that is a great way to do it. So use it for your marketing, your
Yeah.
social media marketing. Number four, you can use it to create your email and text a follow-up template type thing. So, you've heard us talk about the importance of if anyone makes an order, if you're able to do an order and you start using a CRM, customer relationship management software, that you'll be able to automate follow-up stuff. But even if you don't automate, you can have the system. Actually, you can do it with your Google account. So now you can integrate, as of yesterday, you can integrate your Google account, your calendar, which is amazing if you want to, with your Google Gmail, your Gmail. And you can go in and tell it to do things. Like you can say, send an email on Tuesday to Joe Schmo about his order, right? And so it can do all of that. Now, for me, I would rather have you use a CRM because it's all automated and set up. You don't have to go in there and even think about it. But you can write all the templates and the things that you want to say. So if you have ideas or thoughts or whatever,
Hmm.
let it craft it for you if you can. And I highly recommend it as much as possible because it's going to save you a ton of time, especially if you don't have any clue exactly how to say stuff that is nice. And you can actually tell the thing, I want to have a happy, giggly tone, or I want it to be more
Hmm.
serious, or I'm in a kind of a more of a luxury,
Well, and
field.
that's where that goes from once you start using it, you tell it, make it sound like me, and
Mm-hmm.
it knows what you sound like.
Yes.
How does it do that? I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't question things anymore. Like, how does your car start? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know it
Well,
starts.
how it knows a
Same thing.
lot of the way I operate is
It
I
tracks it.
upload content that I've written in the past.
Oh yeah,
And so
yeah.
that's how it knows because, and I've been doing this for a while now since this has been out, which is, however long, I would
Couple years
say
or
a
something
couple of
like
years.
that.
So it starts to catch it. So I uploaded my entire book that I wrote for the other industry in here. And I have now our new book, our Charcuterie Profits book, which if you haven't heard about that, you need to tap into it. But I uploaded the whole book in here so that it could actually read through it and make sure that it was not any typos
Yeah, that it
and
made sense.
that it
Yeah.
made sense. And so, yeah, and I could actually start with the templates, starting by writing a lead magnet kind of thing. So I'll talk about that in a minute. So anyway, writing, and it'll start to get trained on what you do. So the way you like to write, you just start, if you have something you've written, even an email that you wrote somebody, upload it in here, just copy and paste it in and say, hey, I need an email that kind of sounds like me and this is me. And then you can paste it in or you can actually add it as a document and it will read through the document. It'll read through Google Docs, URLs, and all of that.
Hmm.
PDFs, upload the PDF, it'll read through it and it'll be able to help you do what you want for it. And if you have, like, maybe you wrote a blog post or something and you want to turn that blog post into 20 different emails,
Hmm.
throw it in there and say, I need 20 different emails made of this. Believe it or not, it's going to figure out a way to do it, even though the words, there might only be 40 words in it. I'm not kidding. It'll do it. So it is a great, great tool for that. Number 5. So this one actually, I saw this and went, oh yeah, I've started. And I told Andrea, our new website that we're rolling out for the grazing biz, because we are going to break down our offers. And for those of you who missed this discussion, we have a product called the Charcuterie Launch Lab. That is actually our course and everything that you want to build your business with, software wise, websites, calendars, all of that. But what we're realizing is that many of you are at different stages and have already got sites and just want a piece of what we have. So we talked about this in our last podcast. So go back to 19. Hey, we're on number 20, by the way. High five, sis.
No way.
Yeah. Anyway, so but one of the things I was telling Andrea is that I want people to come to the site and to know what it is they need. And so I want to create a quiz. Well, our software that we have actually does create quizzes. And I was working on that. And then I was doing my research to talk to you all today on this. And one of the things they're recommending for even you is to create a charcuterie quiz. And what you do is you go in and say, I want to create a lead magnet quiz that is like, what type of charcuterie host are you? And it will spit out you a quiz that you can actually, and then it'll probably give you an embed code, which I know I'm kind of getting over some of your heads, but it's
Yeah,
real
yeah.
simple. And I could show, I'm going to actually do this to see how it turns out. I didn't do it, but I'm going to do it. And I'll put it on our YouTube channel that you can actually see it. But when you do that, then you can take that code and put it on your website, and it will have and it will spit out, answers to the people. The key about doing this, the reason you would do this is because it becomes a lead magnet for you. So when people comes to your site, and what's a lead magnet? A lead magnet is basically our future customer list. Who's going to come here, get interested in what we're offering? Maybe they'll fork up their contact information to us, even though they may not be ready to buy. And I'm going to tell you, probably 99% of you got into here listening to us because of that.
Hmm.
We have a lead magnet, which is our charcuterie calculator, but it's a helpful thing. So it's a helpful tool. But it is, we're giving you free stuff in exchange for you giving us your contact info so that we can help you later if it's something you want, right? And that's what you want to do. You want to create lead magnets. So on that note, it doesn't need to be a quiz. It could be a, 10 top things to host your next party, and go in and say, you could go in and say, I own this business and it's called this, charcuterie luxury in Dallas. And you can say, I need 10 ideas for a lead magnet to capture people when they happen to come to my website. What can I offer them? And then you got to be able to have a form on your site to be able to capture that information. So in this case, the quiz builder hopefully would figure out a way. You'd have to know how to do all this. And again, this is what we offer, just hint, hint, hint. But a form to be able to capture their info, right? So anyway, that's just one of many different types of lead magnets. So you could come up with, what other things you think would be? I didn't run this lately. I did actually. I have a whole thing on lead magnets on for the people like who are trying to sell, but I didn't look at it today. But I was curious, like, what else could we offer? You might have a guide, host,
Yeah, just like a guide of
party guide.
cheese options, or like the
Oh
the
yeah,
one I made recently, which you guys will see at some point if you're following us, is the
yeah. You
um
just wrote that
the
up.
guide about what kind of
Nice.
knives you can use for cheese. These are a lot of things that people are just completely unaware of.
Yeah.
And because I do have a lot of that knowledge, it's easy enough for me to put together, and it's easy enough for anybody to put together. Any kind of guide on cheese, guide on salami, guide on
Right.
ham, whatever,
Here's what I would say about that is that when you're trying to think about what could you get, what could you use, it always comes down to what kind of questions do you get every day
Right,
from your customers?
right.
Because those are the things that you can create checklists or guides or, and just go in and say, I want a guide for whatever that kind of question is.
Hmm.
And like, what is it? What are the various types of cheeses and what do they taste like? What, the kind that you offer. Maybe you don't care if you offer it or not. You just say that, let's see what pairs well with that kind of salami, right?
Yeah.
Or wine that pairs well with the kind of things, right? So I just love that idea. So all about lead magnets. So, and you're basically just, what is it that I can give you that you will fess up your contact information? That's it, right? And whether you buy or don't buy, right? So
Right.
that's another one. All right, number six, website copy and product descriptions. So now you've got your boards and you or whatever your products are, and you're struggling with trying to come up with what these things say on your website. If you just throw in there, okay, I've got these items, and this kind of goes back to the first one because you can do it in the first one too. But anyway, or you're just trying to put information in on your website about you, about what you offer, about explanation about the different kinds of boards or carts or whatever it is you offer. So you can go in and say, write me up a full-blown website. I'm not kidding. It could actually give you all the content that you need. And weirdly enough, it would actually give you all the code if you knew how to code. But we don't need that because we have all drag and drop templates that are already built. But and another hint, hint, hint. But you like my little hints? Because I mean, I think there's only so much that you kind of got to go, all right, I don't need to do this. But you can get the copy for it. And we do it quite often, especially if somebody is coming to us, say, we want you to write our website for us. And I don't know at all what to say. And I want to learn a little bit about the area where you work. And, we can zero in on those cities and say, in this city, people just love this kind of, product, cheese, whatever. So
Yeah.
you can go in and use it for your website by all means. Okay. Okay. Number seven, your business plan. And so
Big
if,
one.
yeah, it's a big one. And honestly, I don't think most of us are thinking about that. And
None of us do. It's always last on the list. And when it in theory it should be the
the
first on
first.
the list. Yeah.
Yeah, it really should. If you're
We're
starting
terrible
from
about it too.
scratch, I know, I think everyone is. But I do think it's important, at least for you to start thinking about these things, and it will help you guide, even if you haven't thought about it. Just say, I'd like a business plan for my charcuterie business. It's going to outline, and say, ask me that, what I would do at this point is ask me questions. You tell it, ask me questions that you need to know about me so that I can get a good business plan that fits my background or whatever my
Hmm.
goals are. So you could say, what's my mission? Who's my target audience? Who do you want to, like, if it's just real estate agents or I only want to do weddings, you need to let it know that. Because that's going to help you then with the rest of the plan, which is what's your marketing plan? And what kind of checklist do you need? Or I only want to do a charcuterie cart business. I don't need all the other stuff. Tell me what I
Right.
need.
We have a lot of people that are only doing charcuterie carts,
Seems like a lot
not
more
doing
than,
any of the
yeah,
boards.
yeah,
Good for them. Whatever floats your boat and makes you passion,
right.
have to give you the passion to
And
work.
focus only on that. And the
Yeah.
business plan will help you with that. And then
Yeah.
you will say, I want my revenue goals. You could break it out and say, I want my first 3 months to look like this. I want the next 6 months to be like this. And by year five, I want to be here. What do I need to do? How much do I
Right.
need to say? I mean, literally
The
ask
important
it.
thing is your vision, whatever it is, you tell it what you are thinking, because
Right.
clearly you're in this business for a reason. And it's not just, I mean, to make money, but also to just have a fulfilling job and
Yeah.
opportunity. And if it knows that, that's what's so nutty about this. Once it knows that,
Yeah.
it will drive everything that you do
Around
within
that.
within
Yeah.
and around that.
Yeah.
And so don't be shy to it. You're not
Yeah.
talking to your
Nobody will
mom.
hear
It's
it.
not even a therapist, for
Yeah.
crying out
I
loud.
will
I suppose
say
it
this.
could be if you wanted to be, but
Oh yeah,
it,
it definitely could do that.
yeah.
Actually, I've gone in there, and I hate to say it, but I've gone in there a few times going, I'm struggling with certain parts of my business.
Yeah.
And I say to and you can do this too once it starts to know you,
Yeah.
and you say, I'm struggling with this part of, I'm like, I can't figure out the best approach on how
Right.
to make sure I'm, not going in the hole, or I need help with designing my products and pricing or whatever it
Mm.
is. And then it will actually, based on what it knows about you at that point, it's going to give you some really good tips on
Yeah.
how to manage that particular question that you have. So let it do those things. And
Right.
and the goal obviously of your business plan is to make sure that you're making money. So you want to make sure you're giving it your revenue goals and that,
Hmm.
it's going to help guide you. And as I'm sitting here talking out loud, I need to do this for my real estate coaching business too, because it's like always out of control over there. But so the bottom, and it's just because, oh my God, just talking to real estate agents today in this today world is just really challenged. And I love my agents, don't get me wrong, but
That's just because
and I
they're
am there.
challenged. That's because
They're
they're
challenged. It's
challenged.
hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Anyway,
So
we can go
anyway,
down
so
that
there.
rabbit hole forever. Number eight.
Oh, number eight. I'm glad you're counting. Yay. So number eight, event planning support. So you have an event coming up, so you need to get a shopping list together and prep your timelines, and you can
Yeah, it's
actually
great
have
for
it.
that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
right. Set up everything for your large event. You can
Hmm.
even ask it, hey, can you give me an idea of what you think my grazing table could look like at this wedding that is focused on, Western theme? It will, and these days, the images that are coming out, like Andrew said, they're even going to be better. They're even better than what
Yeah,
Andrew is
yeah,
using.
yeah.
That they're going to come out so cool that you'll be able to get a good handle on that. So even your event, maybe it's a small event and you need an idea for a board. It will create an actual map probably of what it is you want. So let it be your event planning person and help you schedule everything for you on things to remember to do, right? So,
Right. It'll give you the timing,
mhm,
everything like this day you should do this and this day you should do that, and
right.
remind you to call the customer if it's a customized thing. It's crazy. It will do it all. I know I keep saying it's crazy, but it
Yeah,
is crazy. It's
it is.
amazing.
I'm going to get back actually to number nine. It actually says customer service scripts is on my list. But what that really means is a lot of things. What you're doing is preparing for things that you get asked a lot. So this can be total AI related, and so it can, if in our CRM or in our softwares and on our websites, we have this thing called AI agent. An AI agent can help respond automatically. So, example is somebody's going to our social media and we say, comment in the comments that you want this, whatever it is, or you want to learn more about it. Then it can automatically recognize because we've integrated with that social platform to respond back automatically to it. And so
Hmm.
it can do that. Same thing to a chat widget on your website. If you've ever been to a website, and we've got them all over our stuff, if you've been anywhere, you've seen it. Although this isn't AI right now, we don't have it set up for the AI yet. But because you have to train these things, it needs to know like what are the kind of questions you get all the time. Well, like, do you offer nut-free boards? Do you have gluten-free? Can I pick up today? Do you deliver to, Flagstaff?
Right. And
So
it knows how to answer those
exactly.
questions. So
So
you don't
you,
have to be there like doing it all day long. Like
right.
when you guys go to, I don't know, you go to your utility company and you got some issue and you
Mhm.
write in a thing and it does the chat box. And first, before you actually talk to somebody, it rolls you through this auto thing, which can be annoying, but a lot of times it has the answers.
It's
And
got the answers better
yeah,
than if you hired someone. And that brings me to my next thing, the AI voice. It's part of this that our system has. If you wanted to, you could have the number that people call or text you, and it can actually respond to them. So, or the system now can call out. I'm not recommending that right now because there are so many laws against just cold calling
right,
people.
right, right.
But if somebody asked to get a call from you, that'd be a different story. And you can have the system actually be prepared to respond to them. So on your website, you could say, if you want to know more about, these boards or our availability, or to schedule an appointment, or to book this charcuterie cart,
Something
call.
basic. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it actually doesn't even, it can be pretty deep, but you got to spend time explaining. The good thing is that if you had if you had like rules about what you want it to do, you can actually upload that into the system. It will know what it's supposed to say. So you can just have a whole list of questions that you get all the time. You can put it into a Google Doc. You can put it into different, like, here's the question, here's the answer that I always get, and it would read that and it would know how to respond. And if you wanted to say exactly what you typed, then you put it in these brackets and say, this is the way I want it to respond every single time. But it can take its liberty to respond back in a way that makes sense and is not, mumbo jumbo, So,
Mhm.
but I love the voice AI thing. If in the day when I was so busy with real estate and the phone was ringing off the hook and I couldn't like go anywhere, my phone was ringing like crazy because it was the height of the market. I would have loved to have had that and to have your
Yeah.
text automatically send back. In our system, we have a thing called auto text back from a missed call text back. That's what it's called. So that's really not AI, but the tool itself is not AI, but I can make it AI if I wanted to, where if somebody called and I missed the call, and it will automatically text them back saying, "Hey, it's Patty. I'm so sorry I missed the call. I'm out, setting up a board or, showing houses or whatever. I'm with another client right now. I'd love to chat with you. When would be a good time for me to call you back?" It would do that. And
Hmm.
it will text back automatically, or it could call them back and do that. Or if they called in and they were trying to get you, but you don't want to talk to anybody, like Andrea hates talking to people. So she could avoid it, but it would
Yeah.
still seem like it's her or
But it
someone in her
sounds like you.
office.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds like you, and it acts like you, and
Yeah.
you've given it all the right answers for those things.
Right.
So
So you
yeah,
can have it sound like
it
you, or
can
at
be handy.
least, yeah. It can sound like you, or at least have the same verbiage that would come out of your mouth. So there's
Right,
that.
right.
Speaking
So
of
there,
that, if you're wanting to clone your own voice, the best tool to do that is 11 Labs. You can't put it into every tool out there. But if you wanted to create a video of yourself or just text to speech, 11 Labs works. It's got its things. I mean, you still might have to play with it some, but you just put in some credits in there. It's kind of like a slot machine. You put it in there and it'll spit out some goods. So you just type up what you want it to say, and it will basically. You would be so surprised. The first time I ever did, I could not. I honestly, I had my husband listen to it, and it's been a year and a half now,
yeah, I
and
remember
that
you
was
sending
before
it
it
to
was.
me, and we were like, "What the heck?
I
That's
know
frightening. It's
it
frightening."
was. I
That's
could
how people
barely.
are getting scammed these days, but
Yeah.
we are talking about using it in the right way,
Right. But you can
productive
make
reason.
video out of that. And now then
Yeah.
you can take that and actually record yourself for a couple minutes, like not even a minute, maybe a minute. You actually have the video on you and it records you doing whatever. And I uploaded a video of one of these. It was a, reel that we turned, or a long video we turned into a short reel. And I uploaded it and it was me. And I was just talking away, doing like I always do. But I put in other text into it and said, I want you to make a video of me. And I had to play with it a little bit. And this was like last week. And it actually got to a point where I felt comfortable enough that I would show that to somebody, but I was just testing
Mhm.
it out. So there's software out there that can do that. So anyway, I think of all the things that Chat GPT or AI is helpful with is this exact thing, because as you get busy, you're not going to be able to be at your desk all the
Right,
time,
right.
nor do you want to maybe pick the phone up all the time, right?
Yeah.
And boom, that's done. And actually, it's funny because I was talking about lead magnets at great length, and actually, number 10 was lead magnet creation. So, because that was kind of part of the quiz. But the whole idea of being able to use this, you can create a funnel to get the people and future clients or your own clients. So, you know, how you want to try to automate your business, if you really want to do this to the greatest extent, is you don't need AI at all. Let me just say that. You don't need to have it, but it's going to help you so much by having all of these tools at your fingertips, that instead of sitting here racking your brain, how am I going to make this work? Well, the good part is that we actually, a lot of the things, in fact, almost all of these things that I have already created custom prompts for.
Hmm.
And you don't have to go in there and create your own unless you want to, but because I've already learned how to train the system to create the stuff, including, let's see, the emails, the social media templates. Let me actually tell you all that we have that I created. I'll just let you know. The holiday and special event board creator. So what this does is within seconds, you can just plan your theme boards, and you just go in there and it'll give you a full menu with ingredients, amounts, board pricing, suggestions for any holiday, event theme, all of that. You put it in there, boom, you tell it how many people, and it's going to spit out everything all the way down to what your menu should say on your website, and also all the ingredients. They'll give you suggestions, and then you tell it, well, I think I heard it set up for some 70% for for, I think it was 70% of cost or whatever for your pricing, but you can put
Yeah,
in
I think we
anything you
based
want.
everything on 70%,
Yeah.
but yeah.
You can change it, yeah, but right now the way it's set up. So I have that. Then we have the Charcuterie Business Plan Builder, which is one we were just talking about, the importance of making sure that you know what the heck you're doing, and with your business. So that's in there already. That prompt's already done. And again, all you do is you just click on this. You get your account set up with ChatGPT, free. Just go set one up for free, and then you get our links to these prompts, and you click on it, and it'll take you right in there, and then it'll start asking you what it needs from you in order to create this, right? It's just going to automatically do it. The social media charcuterie posting planner, it's a builder, so it actually creates a full month of ideas, and then after that month you could go, oh, I need 3 more months. Just tell I need 3 more months. It's going to give
Right.
you all these different ideas, and then I would recommend that you do integrate it with your free Canva account. And if you get the paid versions, and if you want my 2 cents on this, I would pay for the upgrades personally for both. You don't have to, but I would get upgraded Canva and I would get upgraded ChatGPT. It's $20 a month for each of those. And if you're really going to do this, this is so worth it because the
Right.
amount of work and stuff you'll get done is just crazy.
Yeah, I will say that I get stifled on some days because for whatever reason that day I needed it more often, and I have to stop because you only get so many in a
Right.
24-hour
Yeah.
period. So yeah, I'll
Yeah, and
need
yeah,
to
and then you're gonna
do
cut.
that.
But there's other companies out there. You can go to Claude. You can go to one of the ones
Yeah.
that is really cool. If you just want to get like tables and things made, go to a napkin. At least last time it was in there, it was free. Go to napkin.ai, I think it is. Just type in AI napkin, and
Mhm.
you just go in there and tell it I need a table, and it'll give you all these different ideas and different graphics that you can choose from. Oh my God, that was a great one. Great one. Perplexity, which is free for many of us. You can get that too. Anyway, I can go on for hours about that. Okay, what else? We also have the email and text template prompt, which obviously is my gig. For those of you who don't remember, I actually wrote a book on this whole subject about email and follow up and the importance of writing and staying in front of your consumers. Because you don't want people forgetting about you. So make sure that you have some sort of something set up to automate once you get
Mhm.
people in your world and they're in your software, email software, whatever you have. Okay. So our thing is set up to actually help you promote your holiday boards, special events all year long. So every time you have a holiday or any of the kind of things that you promote, you can just go in and say, I have Labor Days coming up. I want 5 email templates and 5 texts to promote my Labor Day boards, right? And you
Yeah.
can tell
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
that, and it'll just do it. It's actually going to spit it out because that's the way I wrote it, and it will spit out all the templates you need for that. And or you just blow all that off and come into our system because I already got them written
Because
and
we
they're
did
already
it
in here.
for you.
I
We
already
did it
did it. It's
already.
already
Yeah.
set up to automate. I'm just saying. And then another one is for the local licensing and health regulations. So for those of you who are brand new at this, it's going to help you in your area, your state, county, province, specific guidance that you need to figure out what you need in order to get started in your neck of the woods. So you just go in there and it's going to ask you, where do you live? And what are you promoting and that kind of thing. And it's going to tell you, it's going to spit out the links and the locations and, the places that you
Yeah, the
need to
places to
go.
go,
Yeah.
it'll try to do the websites, and because a
Yeah.
lot of them are just online, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty
Hopefully
cool.
your town and city and county
Make it
have,
easy. Maybe hopefully it's easy.
I can
Not
only
everybody's
hope.
Arizona, so
Yeah, I know. Like I said, we're the Wild West here. You can do just about
we
anything you
have
want.
it super easy. We
I know.
are
I mean, you still
totally
got to
Wild
get
West food businesses out here.
you still gotta you gotta go through licensing and
Gotta jump through some hoops, but it ain't nowhere near as bad as other
some of
places.
these
But that should
places.
not deter you. If you want to do this, it's not an issue.
It's
So
funny about that because I've been in all of our cottage industry, our cottage law here in Arizona, and there were people that are out there scamming, saying you have to get this
right.
placard to stick in your kitchen. Like, who's going to read a sign in your kitchen? You got to.
I don't
So
know it,
it's such a scam. So there are a lot of scams out there. So watch out because
yeah. Know
you
your
may not
rules. Just know your rules.
go
That's it.
straight to the
Go to your
source.
laws. Yeah.
Yeah. And then another one is the charcuterie business name ideas. So if you're brand new at this and you're struggling with the name,
We did
I've
that
got a whole chat
quite a
prompt.
few times.
We did. We went around, her and I went back and forth for a day and we finally figured it out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you're, and what you do is like, I got kind of an idea. I want to make sure this word is in here. So
This is the
just
business I want. And
yeah.
yeah,
And it's going to focus on this, and I'm going to be in this area. So come up with 20 ideas on how to my name. And then you want to see if the domain's available. And just so you know, don't count on ChatGPT
yeah,
to
it's not
tell
going to
you
be.
if the domain is available. You got to go to GoDaddy and make sure that they actually have it. But so I would do that before you commit to anything, because the closer you can get to your name and or your area, which I always recommend if you can to put something local in your name, your domain, because I think it helps with search engine optimization to some extent. Things are changing so much on that realm, but if you live and work in Dallas, or you're in, Prescott or wherever, I mean, if you can add it somehow to it, I mean, it's not imperative, but it would be cool if you could do that because it's going to help a little. By the way, if you're like, oh my God, this is cool, but I'm kind of, I don't think so. I'm a little scared. I did a video tutorial as well that would go with all these. So how do you get these if you want them? Hey, here's the deal. We have a new book out in case you missed that. It's called Great. It's the Charcuterie. It's Cress. I'm already having a brain fart on it. It's because I'm talking too much. It's the Charcuterie
Charcuterie profit
Profit
secrets.
Secrets. I should remember. Um, so the Charcuterie Profit Secrets is a 75-page book. You can get to the link here, but it's just basically grazingbiz.com/. Someday I'm going to buy the domain, but right now we have so many domains floating around out there. But it's just grazingbiz.com/profit secrets. And if you go there, you can get the book. It's $7. It's an ebook. It's 75 pages, and we're already getting great feedback on it.
Yeah,
And
we
it's
are.
brand
I
new.
love that. I love
And
that because it's brand new. And,
yeah,
I mean, in my case, I was apprehensive. Patty knew what she was doing with the whole book thing. And I'm like, but it's
yeah.
doing very, very well. And people are getting a lot of information about it. And I'm not just blowing smoke up our butts.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the
going to help
truth.
you price,
Yeah.
and what it's going to do is help you also with buying and purchasing, because
Yeah.
that's all part of it, right? Anyway, if you get the book $7, you have an option to latch onto these prompts. Which, by the way, I would be selling if right now the only way you can get them is to get them through the book, and the book will have a button that you can click and get all of these prompts that I've already created for 27 bucks. So
Hmm.
instead of 97, where I was going to price it out, and then probably still, I was just telling Andrew right before I got on here that I was just going to put them out there so that people could just get the prompts. And we'll probably add a few more to them eventually. But right now, that's what we have. I want to do some video prompts for people, but I got to. The problem with all of this, to some extent, when it comes to video, is that so much of it's changing right now, and so I
It's
just
changing really, really
so fast,
fast.
like every blink
Yeah.
of an eye.
But I will
So.
say that as we talk about these prompts, the I've done a lot of, I'm not the marketer in this family, and I can't rely on Patty every day because she's got a lot of things going on. So with my own other stuff that I'm doing, I have to learn these prompts, and they are not easy, people. They are not easy, and she really has perfected the bottom line with them.
Doing the
So we're
best I
not
can.
trying to, yeah, we're not trying to, we do want to help, but in
Yeah,
the end, we do have to make money too. But we are, doing the research to try and figure out to make so you don't have to skip through all of that and
right.
do some of that extra stuff. Like it's not easy.
And
It's
I'm
not,
just
and
saying,
it is here to stay. So don't be
like going,
like,
yeah.
I'm never going to use AI. That's like saying I was never going to use a cell phone back in the 80s. Like, okay, good luck with that. So,
In the
uh,
80s, hell, I didn't have my first cell phone until 96. So what
I
are you
want to
talking
say I
about?
had my first one. I had what they call a GSM in Brussels because I lived overseas, and
Oh,
I had a GSM in
yeah,
probably
you're talking my age there.
1992 or something like that. So,
Oh,
anywho, just
yeah,
don't be afraid of AI. It is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It's going to
right,
drive everything we do every day. So you
right.
might as well get familiar with it, and this is the
Right.
best way to do it. Once you learn, like from Patty's videos and other things that she's producing about the whole experience, it will be so much easier
Yeah, and
for you.
it's real simple. I don't, what I
Yeah,
basically
she
do is
did.
just show you how to
Mhm.
go into one of the prompts, and it's all going to be the same for all the prompts, but I go into the one, and I think it's the board building prompt, and I
Mhm.
show you how do you use it? How do you get your account with
Yeah,
ChatGPT? Just click on this, and it's going to start asking you questions, fill it out, boom, done. And then
right,
you can, there's a button you can click that you can download the answers, whatever it
right.
is. So unless you're doing coding and all that, and again, that's a different discussion that I
Yeah,
will do.
I'm not going there.
I will do someday. But yeah, anyway, I mean, it's just so fun. So you got 6 prompts if you're interested. Totally go do it on your own. Great, amazing. But if you want ours, and we've been there and I've done that, and you want a little bit of training or coaching on it, I'm going to provide all that with these
And we
prompts
know
that go
there's a
with the
million
book.
people out there doing it, but what we did was specify down to the charcuterie business,
Yeah.
and we'll eventually expand that into cottage, just so everybody knows. I know
Yeah,
I
we're
can't talk
working
about
on
it,
that.
but I'm pretty
Yeah.
stoked about the cottage end of it as well. So
Yeah. If you're
that's,
baking,
that's all going to come forward, and but all of these tools that we're telling you about are things that are just going to help. I know
right,
you have to learn something, but with everything, you have
right.
to learn something.
And Andrew,
Again,
wouldn't you say
you know,
that like a good portion of our listeners, all of you fine folks that are listening here, have already started doing creating boards, right? Or and you
right.
wouldn't probably be listening to us unless you already realize you've got a passion for it. So no matter where you're
Right.
at in this process, I think, and I know there's other coaches and trainers and people out there,
There's a million
but
people out there doing
that
stuff.
are doing stuff, but
Yeah.
they're all at different levels. And what I feel like that you need to first understand that we can help you with no matter where you're at in the process. But
Mhm.
and that's what we're doing now is that we're actually breaking the pieces out of our launch lab
Right.
and
We
putting it
realize that
into
people
yeah, you can get the full
like the a la carte menu
yeah,
version.
it's going to be
That's what we're
exactly. I'm
doing.
going to have a
Yeah.
menu,
Yeah.
which hopefully
But
in a
it
week
is.
we'll have that figured out. I'm just working on getting it out there. So you guys, I'm working on this quiz, weirdly enough, so that you can come to the site and figure out what do you need. But that said, wherever you're at in the process, there's something to help you, and
Right.
whether you do it on your own. Because you're watching a lot of videos and watching other people out there on social media land. Great. Don't get stuck though, because if you're really serious about this, don't,
Right.
just get some help. It's not going to cost you that much. It just isn't. And that's the
Mhm.
cool part. And just so you know, we had a person just sign up this week, and she says, I have a luxury. I have a networking group that I go to, and I've got an opportunity to be in front of all of these high-end, very luxury type people, I guess people that have money, lots of money next week. And she said, "Can I get my site up?" And we got it all done today, actually. And so this was two
And it
days
looks
ago.
great. It looks great.
Wasn't it pretty?
I know.
And we actually worked on our
Not that
logo
I don't
for
like
her.
any of our websites.
I
This one
know.
was a little bit different, so I really liked it. I
Yeah,
really liked it.
because she wanted it more luxury ended, and
Right.
we created her logo for her as part of this. And this is something because we're relatively new, I was willing to do, and it's not something that we would maybe always do, but and if you say pretty please, we might. So, I don't know.
Just like with the AI, just say please and
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you.
Something my mom doesn't know how to do, but no.
Oh no, well let's not even go there. I know we did some mom a lot, but
Yeah,
she's a
she's a
wonderful
lot of fun.
person. She
She
raised
just
us,
yeah,
so she's
yeah,
a character. That's all.
when why do you think we are who we are? It's like, but anyway, yeah, I mean, so bottom line is we want to help you if we can. If not, latch on to everything that we can tell you about
Yeah.
on how to do this stuff. And if you get
And go out there and
challenged,
do it, guys. Do it.
just go do
I
it.
know I
Don't be
keep saying that,
afraid.
but
Yeah,
go out and do it,
do
or
not be
it's
afraid.
never going to happen.
That's
So,
right. That's right. Like that's our best advice is that if
yeah,
you're sitting on your hands going, I don't know where to start, well, there's no excuse because you should at least be in our Facebook group
yeah,
that is called Start Your Charcuterie Business. And again, if you've already started it, it's a great place for you to be too, because we're helping you every step of the way. But
yeah,
our goal, and you're getting a lot of support from other people in there because people are asking some
right.
great questions.
We've been super busy, so I apologize that our we are not doing as many posts as we should. But that doesn't mean you're not getting help because now we've got enough people in there that everybody's helping everybody too.
Yeah. Oh.
So, but anytime someone has a question about something, business related, we're on it,
And the thing
so
about it is that I think we all learn from each other. It's not like they all
we
have to
do.
learn
I
from
think
us.
I get more out of other people
Yeah. So
than me
I
just
wouldn't
making up some
apologize.
random post.
We're making all kinds of posts. They're going on
Yeah,
the public page right now. So make sure that
right,
you're following us at the Charcuterie and Launch Lab on the public page because
right,
I'm
right. They're
starting to
coming out on
post a
that
lot of
end
stuff
more
over
so.
there.
Yeah, yeah,
And our YouTube channel, obviously, I'm hoping over the next month or so that I can get in and do some more of this stuff that I'm talking about to show you this kind of nitty gritty thing. If you're really interested in, how to do things to fine tune your own websites or to do your chat GPT or whatever,
yeah,
there'll be a lot more tips on that. As you can tell, we've been through a busy summer with kids and grandkids and hot and heat and 100. It was 118. It was record temperatures in Phoenix yesterday.
yeah. Northern Arizona was in 100, and we do not get hundreds up here.
Oh, that
So
reminds me. There was another
this
thing
sucks. I'm
I,
over it.
yeah, there was another thing I wanted to bring up though, because when we did our gig, Andrew and I were talking about we got to figure out a way to cool off our charcuterie carts. And I've been looking on. My husband, who is a retired science teacher, guess what he's been working on? We have been working on a prototype to help you keep your charcuterie carts cold. And what it's going to do is going to actually pump cool air into your cart domes. So hopefully you all have some sort of dome on there, or your covers, or in your covers,
Yeah,
some way. So we're working on. I mean, we're working on a prototype right now, which actually isn't going to take that long because it's just pieces and parts and fans and blowers and things that you can get. And so he's putting it together, and then if it pans out, which I think it's going to, we were able to cool down. We were testing actually outside, and it's 100. It was 118 yesterday, and we're testing outside, and we're able to get the temperature down into the low 60s, which is
yeah,
good because
that's phenomenal. I
you've
mean,
got
it
the.
needs to be lower, but that's
No, but
that's a
no, but you
great
have to keep
start.
in mind it's never going to be 40
No, no,
because
no.
your cold is coming from the
But that's
bottom.
a
What
great
I'm
temp.
talking about is the cold coming from the top,
Right.
and so that it penetrates through everything. So we're really excited. I'm really excited about where he's going with this, and you should see our kitchen right now. He's got everything in there. It's like Dr. Mike in there
Because
doing
it's
all
too
this.
hot to be out in the garage. So,
Yeah, no, he's totally in the house. It is really hot out there. But
yeah,
anyway, and we're trying to test it out in the hottest of temperatures. And if you are in the cottage industry making cakes, because this was another thing, is that there was somebody that said, I'm at this market and it's the summer. It's not here necessarily because they'd be an idiot to be out in a market here in the summer, partly because there is none right now in this part of the woods. But
not in Phoenix, yeah,
they got
unless
their
you're New York.
cakes in a cake display or whatever they've got with frosting, and they
It's
were saying,
melting.
I was
Yeah.
trying to figure out a way to keep it from just melting all over the place. I'm like, holy
Mm.
crap, this is going to work like a dream for that because you can pump this right into your. It's basically going to be a tube that you'll be able to pump in. It'll be a combination of water, and in the case of the charcuterie, it's going to be a case of cold water running through your system, but also cold air, so that will be
Mhm.
both. And then it's all going to be wireless, so it's going to be hooked up to battery operated, so you can
Yeah,
take it anywhere.
that's awesome.
So
Yeah.
assuming everything works out, so we're just in the process of trying to finagle
We're
that. But
just
I'm just,
we're answering to what we've experienced and answering to what other people are chiming in about. So that's
yeah.
one of the
If this
toughest
sounds
ones
like
is
something
keeping
you,
everything on top
right?
cold. And that's a whole nother story that we did however many episodes ago.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah. If you've got a cart, you're going to be dealing with it, and that's for
yeah,
sure. Doesn't
yeah,
matter. And even if you don't have a cart, maybe we'll be able to figure out a way to get this to work underneath a grazing table. You don't necessarily need to have air on that, but just
yeah.
constantly something cold running along underneath your grazing tables for parties or whatever. But anyway, this is going to happen probably sooner than later because he's really adamant about it, and he's retired. What else do you got to do? So. He's got me cracking the whip on. But anyway, all right, friends. What else? Are we good, sister?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it
That's
for
it. We did
today.
all 10.
If you like what we're doing, please tell others.
Yeah.
And by the way, because I don't go into other people's groups and try to,
We
promote
don't like to
because
go in there
yeah,
and throw
I can,
ourselves around.
yeah, I'm careful about that. But if you know of anyone who is challenged in those groups or you're in any of those groups and you'd like to share us, make sure they know about our podcast. Make sure
Yeah.
they know about what we offer and our free groups. And if they want the book and all those things, all of our links are here in the show notes, and so or the description of the video. If you go to YouTube, because we're on YouTube too, this is on YouTube. So
And we're
tell
just
the
never going to
world.
stop. So every time somebody says something, we run off in that tangent, and that's what we
I
do.
know we could be quite ADD, and I
We
suspect both.
could, but we're not. We're staying focused on what we need to do
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
But just so you all know, anytime someone mentions something, we go, wow, that's a good call.
Yeah.
So, and it just is never ending. You know, life just throws those curves at you and you just got to go with them. So go out there and do it,
Yep.
peeps.
All
Do
right. We'll see y'all later. Have a great one this week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
it. Bye.